method I'm going to review in this video to get addicted to destroying depression is genuinely miles better than any motivation, willpower, or whatever you've seen online. Back when I felt like a literal piece of shit, these were the only methods that I was able to implement that actually worked for me to get addicted to destroying depression. None of these internet methods worked for me. Literally none of them. Because bro, how the fuck are these gay affirmations? Oh yeah, you're good enough and manifesting your success is gonna work for me. Like bro, how the fuck? So by the end of this video, you know my exact method to becoming so addicted to destroying depression that your life starts to feel like a genuine video game. So first of all, you need to understand that the masculine man is driven by progress. Now when I realized this, I was 16 years old. And throughout all of my life, I had had various addictions. The thing that I was addicted to at the end was kind of progress. First of all, you need to understand that progress is what drives masculine men. So when I was 12 years old, I started playing chess. We had learned it in school, and then I signed up to this chess club. And I, like literally from day one I was at chess practice, I was hooked. But literally the day I went home from that first coaching session with chess, I went home and I watched the videos on how to make checkmate in 4 moves, and I was checking out openings and what was an opening and what is tactical play and positional play. I was looking up all these sorts of things, and within weeks I was already the best one on the entire this beginner team. I was the best one, even though some of these people had been playing for a year. I was the best one within weeks because I was just so addicted to seeing progress and to becoming better. And at that time I didn't know that was a normal thing for men being addicted to progress, but I was. And then eventually, I got so good at chess and I started to plateau, and then COVID came and then I stopped playing it. But then I got addicted to something else, which was Fortnite. And this was a bit more like a gay addiction. But it again proved to me that I was so obsessed over progress. I cared about leveling up. I cared about getting to the new rank in the arena, where you play comp in Fortnite. And then I started going on to Rocket League. I started playing that as well. I constantly kept going for progress. On Rocket League, I traded literally, if you were an OG Rocket League player, you could trade cars and skins and decals and all these things. And I literally traded my account up to be worth 100k credits, bro. 100k credits. If you played Rocket League, you know how much that is. And basically where I'm going with this is, back then I didn't know, but when I turned 16, I finally noticed that, shit, I wasn't just addicted to Fortnite, I wasn't just addicted to chess, I was addicted to the feeling of progress that it gave me. And this is of course bad because oh yeah, these people trap us with the idea of progress in video games. But we can use this in real life. We can just make progress in actual things. But to be fair, in real life progress is quite slow. When you try to do some new change, you often quit. That was what happened to me. I tried to better myself. I tried to get on self-improvement, but it never worked because I always quit. And the simple reason for this was that the progress was too slow. It didn't feel like I was getting a change in my life, because with Fortnite, I could go ahead and play a game right now and I'd win and I'll get 40 arena points. I'd immediately see the progress, getting closer to that next division. We want to emulate that feeling in real life. And that is basically by making the boring tasks more stimulating and finding a way to gamify these things so that it doesn't just feel dull, but instead you kind of more so feel like the instant feedback loop. That's what we need, because right now it's you meditate today, nothing really happens, right? We want to get that instant feedback loop of, okay, yeah, we got dopamine by meditating today. And that is exactly what this paper system that I'm going to reveal now will do for you. So the first thing we're going to need to do is kind of in video games where we have the daily tasks. So every day you can there's 3 daily tasks and you can get XP if you complete them, or some coins or whatever, right? We want to emulate that into our own life to kind of get that daily feedback of, oh yeah, I'm doing something right, oh yeah, I'm accomplishing something. So if you don't already know, there are 3 main habits that I've used to destroy depression, and these are the 3 that you're going to use as well, and they're going to be kind of the 3 main daily tasks just as in video games. So the first one is gratitude journaling, meditation, and going out into nature. So I've already made videos on this, so you can go ahead and watch the videos on how to destroy depression. This is how to become addicted, but I'll just quickly explain them if you don't know. It's just to get an idea. So meditation is where we train ourselves to get back into the present moment. So we're just sitting there breathing, we're paying attention to our breath, and suddenly we unfocus. And then the practice of refocusing onto the breath That is the meditation practice, and we basically train ourselves to stay out of thought and like stop overthinking. Then there's gratitude journaling. This is the thing that associates, like, you know, when you wake up with feeling good and being happy and grateful, because what we do is we write down 5 things that we're grateful for every morning on a piece of paper the moment we wake up, and then our brain starts to associate that with, like, you know, feeling good, feeling happy in the morning, and this basically combats anxiety, because gratitude is literally the opposite of anxiety. And the last thing is going out into nature and playing, and this is genuinely, this sounds so weird because, you know, if you're depressed you won't get this, but go out into nature, play, enjoy the nature, hear the sounds. You're way more present, and you can't be depressed when you're in nature because you're not consumed by your phone or anything. And this is like a good way to get a lot of time away from doing all the bad habits that cause depression. But yeah, those were the 3 habits. You can go and watch my video on how to like destroy depression, and this is like more also how to get consistent with doing that. So yeah, those are the 3 main daily things that will act as the daily tasks in video games that we're going to do. But again, these 3 habits, they're quite boring in the moment, and when you're used to so much stimulation, you want a faster feedback loop. But that's exactly what I've created. I've created it so that you don't need to wait for the results of meditation, the results of gratitude journaling. You can literally, straight after doing the task, you can get that dopamine hit, that positive feedback loop. Here is the method. This is the paper that will make your life feel like a video game and doing these habits like a video game. So basically, let me explain quickly what this is. So as you can see, I also got one hanging right here on my wall and over there, and it's a habit tracker. And basically what we do is, so here on this one, because I'm way more experienced, I've done this for a long time, years, I have way more habits. But you'll make one of these, and I've even I'm going to put like a free link in the description where you can download one so you can just get that one. But what you're going to do is, at the top here, you're going to write down the 3 habits that you're trying to track. So here, for example, they have meditation, and we have gratitude journaling, then we have nofap. That's, you know, that's just some of mine, right? But what you're going to put is meditation, gratitude journaling, and going out into nature. And then right down here, you just write down all the days of the month. And then what you do is every single day, you kind of like go for ticking the box once you've completed that task. And what this does too is it gives you that dopamine spike. Because every time you meditate, you tick it off here and you get that dopamine feeling, like, you know, kind of like pressing on the collect daily reward in video games. And then you do the gratitude journey, and then you get another daily reward, and then you get the nature thing and you tick that off as well. And suddenly you have 3 ticks, and then you got all of them done. And it's this accomplished dopamine feeling of being like, oh yeah, I completed my daily task again. And that's how this thing, like, literally, it sounds so stupid that this can emulate it, but it gives us that instant feedback loop. Instead of having to wait for the meditation to kind of like see progress in our life, we can just go ahead and tick this off and feel better immediately, because it's like a small dopamine kick. And here comes the even better part. If we don't do the task, we have to cross the box. And this adds even more to it, because now it's not just like motivating and dopamine thing to tick it off. It's also the ultimate accountability system, because as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but there are some crosses on mine. And those are from the days where I missed doing the task. And when you see, like, I have mine right by my bed over here, or here by my work. When I see that tracker and there's like a missing unticked box, or there's a cross box, it kind of agitates my brain, and I get all like mad at it, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to do it tomorrow, or I can't leave them unticked. And you get pissed off that you didn't do the habit. And so now, not only does this motivate you and get you to feel better by doing these boring things, it also makes you stay accountable to do that thing. But yeah, as I said, I've made a free template you go down in the description and get for this exact tracker. And two last things that I want to mention about this tracker that you need to do for it to work, because I've spoken to so many guys and they keep telling me, oh yeah, but it doesn't really work. Then I tell them, do you do these 2 things? And it works. So the first one is, have it on your wall, specifically by your bed. So this one is by my work, obviously, because it's like my work tracker, but over here I'll put up like a picture on screen so you can see, is mine by my bed. And then literally, you need to get autistic with this. You lie down on your pillow and look where your eyes are going to look in the morning, and that's where you hang the tracker. And now you can't unsee it. And one last thing is, don't be like crazy with this, saying, oh yeah, I have to meditate 20 minutes tomorrow, or else I can't tick the box. Literally just make it so you have to meditate for 1 minute, and 1 minute is enough for you to tick the box. Just have it as the bare minimum will get you tick the box, because you'll just quit if you make it too hard for yourself. Because let's be honest, you're not that good right now. You have to drop your ego and realise that. And if you don't do that, then yeah, you're never going to get consistent, basically. And if you want more specific and almost autistic advice on things like this, discipline, goal setting, and how to genuinely fix your life and feel good and proud of yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror at night, you can go on and check out the first link in the description. Is my self-improvement club, and that's what we got over here as well. I think you really enjoy it, and I genuinely know that it will change your life if you just implement it. So now that we've gotten the daily tasks feeling of like the instant feedback loop, we also want to add the level up feature and the XP bar that we have in video games. So these are kind of like more like the long-term rewards. So we grind for like the week and then we level up, or we get like closer on the XP bar. And we can also do this in real life, and that is what we have right here. That is one of them, and I also have one over here. So I'll show you like on a closer look how to do it in a few seconds. So this is a goal template, and basically before we can do something, we need to figure out what will be the equivalent to leveling up when it comes to destroying depression. And so that's why I'll link or maybe I'll put the link on screen to a questionnaire that you can take. It's from like the NHS about how good your mental health is, and then you'll get like a depression score and an anxiety score. And basically what you're going to do for that goal is, so if you like looking at the goal template right now, what you're going to, at the top, you're going to write down the goal of how good you want your mental health to be. So let's say you got like, I don't know, 10 on the score, right? Maybe you can even make it as like 0 is your goal. So you say your 0 depression score, and then you make these small like boxes as stepping stones that are kind of like acting as the XP bar towards the 0 goal. So the first box will be 10, and then the next one will be 9, then it will be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then obviously 0 as the last one for your depression score test. And then it's very simple. Once you get that thing, you just tick off the stepping stone, and this acts as kind of like the XP bar that will get us like the progress to leveling up in video games. And this is so OP because now you not only have like the daily motivation, the daily accountability of the daily tasks, but now you also have the a bit more longer term direction, and you feel like more motivated because you're leveling up, you're trying to get towards this goal. And this is genuinely the 2 papers that changed my life, and it made me go from never being able to be consistent, never being able to be motivated, to pretty much always having the motivation to do these things and also actually stay consistent with them. And then obviously after a few weeks you take the test again and you see how much better your like mental health has gotten, and then maybe it's gotten down to like 8 the first week, then you can tick off 2 stepping stones, and you keep doing that until you've reached your goal. And this is genuinely everything you need. Now you're ready to go out and use this system and become so addicted to destroying depression that you genuinely can't stop. I hope you find this video enjoyable and useful. Alright, that's it. Put one foot in front of the other.